Hello folks, Mayor Kelly Milan here again from the city of Lawrenceburg, and welcome to another version of the Mayor's Minute. And this week I thought we would introduce you to our public safety group here in the city of Lawrenceburg. Let them explain a little bit about what they do here in the city. And I'm going to get things started off by introducing you to our safety director here at the city of Lawrenceburg, Mr. Mike Abden. Mike came on board with us during our first administration in 2016, has made tremendous strides in preserving the safety of our employees and our contractors as well. So I'll let Mike take a few minutes to just explain what he does on a daily basis.
Thank you, Mayor. Glad to be here. I spent 35 years in construction on the union side and come on board here at the city 4.5 years ago, and
Time flies.
Yes, it does. It's been quite the joy. I really do. I like the challenge. My job here, taking care of safety for all employees, all contractors. And again, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. And working with this group here in public safety has just been wonderful for me. I think we get along real well. We work well together, and sure glad to be here, and I enjoy it.
Well, I know this group will appreciate this, but we're in budget week, what we call budget week this week. And so everybody's budgets are always, well, especially for next year, maybe getting cut a little bit. But Mr. Abden, what he's done is actually, when we brought him on board, and maybe you can talk about this, Mike, the TRIR in the city, and you can probably explain it a lot better than I can, but our workman's comp premium has gone down drastically since the onset of bringing Mike on board. So tell us a little bit about TRIR.
Yeah, well, the mod rate, which again, national standard for workers' comp insurance, I don't want credit for that. That's a total team effort of 115 or so full-time employees, and then you also count in our summer help, which,
Yes.
you know, they are part-time employees, our police and fire, part-time EMS. So all that together, working as a team, I think that we have done very well at keeping our rates continuously going down to where we can save the city some money in insurance premiums. And it's ongoing. Every day it's something we have to work at, but again, it's work in progress.
Safety never stops.
That's right.
That's right. Well, thanks, Mike. Next I want to introduce Chief John Tremaine. Johnny's been with me since my first administration, but he's been in fire protection for how many years now?
30. It's going on 34 years.
Wow. I didn't think you were much older than that. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got involved and started in that.
Oh, how I got started, my dad, he joined in '69, and I pretty much was a firehouse kid. My brother, he did it for a while, but he didn't take it very serious. But no, I joined in '86, right before I got married. Probably not good timing there, but been at it ever since. Started out as a volunteer, and then 15 years ago we was able to become full time here, and we have a combination department here at the city.
You know, when he says it became full-time, you know, a city of 5,000 people, we're very fortunate to be able to have a full-time fire department. That just doesn't happen here in the country probably, but we're excited to be able to have them. So thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Chief David Snyder, let's hear about you a little bit.
Born and raised here in the city of Lawrenceburg. I got hired on to the Lawrenceburg Police Department early 2000s. I first got hired on as a reserve. I was a reserve officer for a couple of years, and then I transitioned into full-time. Spent a year or a little bit more on the road, and then transitioned into investigations, where I stayed for 15 years. I spent the last 4 years as assistant chief, and then the past chief retired, and I moved into his position as chief of police. And you know, I thoroughly enjoy protecting and serving those in my community, the community I grew up in, and you know, that I care a lot about.
Tell one thing I do want to highlight is the thing that got a lot of public relations attention this past, during COVID, actually.
Yeah.
About reading to the kids,
Yeah.
police officers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we started with this administration, Mayor, as you well know, you were very well in on the loop. It was a heavy focus of this police department to interact with the public more, think of ways that we could interact with our public more, do that in one-on-one thing with the public, where back in the days, and you hear stories in the 70s, everybody knew who your constable was, everybody knew who your police officer, police chiefs were, and they communicated day to day with people in their community. We went back to the roots of community policing, and that's what we've done here at the city of Lawrenceburg. So during the COVID-19 epidemic, we started thinking, how can we continue that? So we came up with an idea to have a book reading via our Facebook page and our social media outlets, where we talked to kids, where we read a book to kids, and it went over really well. It went over bigger than what we thought. We got an outpouring of private messages, emails, so on and so forth, just commending us for doing that, for taking the time. And we do it with individual officers, and the lieutenants did it, the investigators did it, the mayor was a guest reader one week. And it's funny now that we're kind of getting back to normal as we're going through these stages where the community's opening back up, we're still getting plenty of messages wanting us to continue with the book reading. So I don't know if that's on the agenda or not. We have a lot of other things in mind for community policing and public relations. So, you know, it's been going over well, and it's a big focus of ours to stay connected with our citizens here in Lawrenceburg.
Well, that was a tremendous program.
Yeah.
I know it got a lot of good publicity during COVID and,
Yes, it
and
did.
such, so we appreciate that. Last but not least, I want to introduce Director for our EMS department, Mr. Rick Clark. So if you could tell us a little bit how you got started.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm excited to be here. I started in '85 as a volunteer for the Life Squad, following my mom and dad's footsteps. They both put in 20 years of service, volunteer for the city. So, you know, born and raised here, and it doesn't feel like a job when you're serving your community and you have fun doing it. Our squad serves the city of Lawrenceburg as well as surrounding townships, and we respond to about 2,200 calls a year. So we stay busy, which I like, but we do some good stuff. We're focusing on education and professionalism, just following what was, you know, given to me when I started about a year ago in the office. So just real.
You've had quite a turnover though in the last, year, I guess,
Yeah.
due to,
Lots
well,
of
it's
retirements.
actually it was a pension
Yeah.
ordeal that a lot of folks had to take advantage of, so we had a big turnover
Yeah.
in the
So
ranks.
now I'm the old guy all of a sudden, and that feels really weird
And you are old.
because, you know, I started out 18 years old and I was the
Yeah.
young guy forever. So, but
It's
it's
a big turnover. Well, hey, I want to close this up, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate this group of guys here sitting around this table, and especially their staffs and the people that work under them. You know, Mike and I get to work with them, these three gentlemen, quite often, all of our events. They work directly with Main Street as well, to make sure that everybody is safe during our events. These are three guys that you see out in the public a lot. And just the next time you see them, come up, thank them for their service. I know I do each and every day. I just appreciate them. I pray for them, and their folks that they all go home at the end of the day the same way they came to work. So thank you for joining us. I'll close this with the way we close all of them. Just remember that, you know, these guys right here are truly a reason that we're able to keep Lawrenceburg as a city on the rise. And always check on your neighbors because we are in this together. See you later, Lawrenceburg.